morning. I'm here with Mr. Paul, the founder of Wigs for Kids.
And my wife, Zena. But if you call me Jeffrey, it's better because
Jeffrey.
I don't know who Mr. Paul is unless it's my father.
Okay. So I gotta ask, what made you guys decide to found Wigs for Kids? Like, what made you decide to come up with the idea of it?
Well, I was traveling all over the world doing celebrities and runway models, President of the United States. That was my haircutting career, and I was excited about it. I studied in Europe, so I thought I'd already hit the top of my mountain. I was so excited about it. And one day, my niece, Laura Hody, ran into my salon and said that the magic words, or the life-moving words that said my life was going to change. She said, "Uncle Jeff, don't let me go without hair." And not knowing anything 35 years ago, she ended up letting me know, and the father let me know that she's losing her hair because of chemotherapy that was a new drug at that time, and it could help her survive the leukemia. And I promised her she'd have hair, and she was in a gymnastic competition the very next day after we had gotten the hairpiece ready, but 35 years ago there wasn't a wig for a kid, and there wasn't a wig that would stay on through gymnastics. There just none of that technology had come out yet. So we put together all our heads and all our efforts and came up with something, but we weren't sure what it would do in the event. And she was going to be in all these, the exercises and all the things they had to do, and not exercises, but the apparatus. Yeah. So we're sitting there, my wife and I, like holding each other, like almost like trembling. What happens in a full gym of her peers if her hair falls off? Just would devastate her. So we went through everything, stayed on, and the last event is where she has to get at the end of the gym, run down the mats, jump off of a trampoline over the horse, and she looks at me. I mean, just like you're looking at me right now, and it was like everything stopped. She went through the apparatus, came down, and she put her thumb up in the air to me. I'm crying like a little baby, and I heard God's voice tell me that I was going to now take my talent and take it from making beautiful people beautiful and make beautiful people inside and out. And that, I didn't even know what that meant at that point, but I learned very, very soon after that that Wigs for Kids was a thing that the world needed, and we now serve for 35 years children all over the United States, and we get hair ponytails from all over the world, and it's become just a passion driven by what every day I do.
That's amazing. That's what a thing. It all started with one little girl in a gymnastics meet.
Yep, her legacy goes on because we really credit her for the reason. Jeffrey and Zena and all the stylists are very important elements that play a role in the administrative and things, but the motivation is, to this day, is still Laura's face saying, "Uncle Jeff, don't let me go without hair."
So I guess we all have heard of it for the creation of such a wonderful organization that's helped like thousands of kids all over the world.
It's amazing, Lauren. It's people like you that have continued the inspiration. And it's people who've given money, because it takes a lot to put a normal hairpiece that we put on our kids throughout the United States, free, completely free for every year, including the products and all of the other things that we do to service that, would cost somebody anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000. Virgin hair from the ponytails. That's what we're proud of, being able to know that we do it. And that's the other part of it. A lot of people don't know out there. We have a minimum of 12 inches, and people say, well, other people take 10 inches and 9 inches. The reality of looking at you, that's actually 14 inches plus 4 more inches that are tied. So that means I have to have 18 inches to give you what you want. And that's where the wonderful people giving hair, letting it go even another month, another year, or whatever, to get that extra couple inches makes a difference, because even though you would be happy with hair, you want to look yourself. You want to look like the people that you every day participate in, go to school with, play with. And if you had something that wasn't you, we know that that's not fair to our kids. We want our kids to be able to look themselves and live their life. So the donations are really, really important.
And I think that's amazing that you guys have this program to give the wigs to the kids for free. Because I know that's helped my family a lot. The fact that we get these for free, and that I've been here so long, so I've definitely taken advantage of that myself.
Well,
so.
every year, the applications go in, and we re-up the next year. Annie, who you interviewed, which was a precious interview, has been with us, since she was in 2nd grade. She graduated from Ohio State last month, and now is in her career. And she's been with us every year with that process. So it's been wonderful. It can't be done by one person. It can't be done with just a couple of dollars. It's a big commitment on the donors, the ponytails, as I said, the stylists around the country now that help us measure the kids and put the cap fittings and everything that we've certified them to train them how to do, free. Again, we'll train them if they'll just take care of our kids, you know, when they have a need at that point. And then the salons, you know, cutting those ponytails. Everybody pulls the hair back and thinks that's a ponytail harvest. Not true. They lose all this hair that ends up on the floor once they do the cut. And it's like, we need that hair. That extra inch is important. So we've done a complete certification on how to section it off, how to bind it so that it actually will come to us undamaged. Because a lot of times if the hair gets all damaged in shipping, you can't use it. And that's really a heartbreak for the person who's giving it as well as the person that could be receiving it at that point.
I remember you guys had like the little headquarters somewhere in this area, and I remember going there and like seeing the process of all like the hair shipped in and like the whole like packaging it all up thing. That was like such an amazing experience to like see like, wow, this is like just a little bit of the process that goes into making these wigs that I love so much.
You know, it's interesting. I forgot that you were out there at the Wigs for Kids headquarters, and they're working on hair every day. But you know what's even a better part of that?
What?
I hope you got to see it. When you open the envelope and there's this ponytails, there's also this letter or note or pictures, the life experience that this child that's healthy and well and with hair is giving that part of their body to someone like yourself or Emily or Annie or any of the kids that we take care of. And those notes really are also another stimulant that's pretty incredible. But there is a lot, because just to make that hair then end up in a hairpiece, it took me almost 5 years of working with manufacturers and designs that I would create to be able to do that. Because it's not as easy as it sounds, you know, because it takes almost 15 to 20 ponytails to make one hairpiece once they go through the process. But in turn, once it's done, you feel that hair, and it's wonderful. And it also gives you a kind of a cuddling of 15 or 20 people that are hugging you that really care at that point, along with the people that have donated the money that it takes to manufacture that process.
Yeah, that's amazing. How does it feel when you have kids like Annie and Emily and me who come back and we want to expand on everything that you've given to us, when we want to expand like the love and the caring and the spreading of like the word? Like how does that feel to you, knowing that there are people who want to like just do more with it?
I'll tell you, my mission in life, I don't think I've ever shared this, I don't even know if Annie knows this, but my mission in life, I use an acronym called TIME. And no matter what time I spend with you or with anybody, I want to be always teaching, inspiring, motivating, empowering you to be absolutely everything you can be. So when I see a kid like you that comes in that's lost her hair because of alopecia, that I know that if somebody's not taking care of that, not teaching you how beautiful you are inside and out, not inspiring you to know that you can do anything you want to do, motivating you with hair to be able to be like everybody else, and empowering you to do what you're doing right now, to take the gold award for the Girl Scouts and becoming, you know, a college student and going on into life and relationships. It's like some just absolutely blessing that I was born when God said, you know, you're going to do this. That was like, wow, was I lucky. I was absolutely lucky and blessed, because when I see you, and I see Annie's, and I see the Emily's, it's like, you know, the pebble in the brook. I know it's only one pebble, but man, what it can do in the big picture. And you know, you're taking the alopecia awareness and telling kids out there that they're okay, they're not alone, they can make it, they can have courage, and if they're bullied, you know how to get through it or get the support system. Man, how could any one person do it? So you bless me beyond what you can imagine.
And has doing this whole thing, has this been like a learning experience to you? Because I know you said this all started because of your niece who had cancer, but you know, there's people with alopecia. I know there's been other things you said. I can't remember the names. I feel really bad, but
yeah, in fact, there's been alopecia came second, you know, for the cancer patients, which everybody understands that cancer patients lose their hair for a while. But what they don't understand is alopecia could be a lifelong experience. And then trichotillomania, which is where they twist their hair, and it's an expanding compulsive disorder that is incredible and embarrassing, and all the things that they go through, has really brought it. We've got some burn kids and that type of thing, but it has been a learning experience, because just recently, as you know, I started the Hair Loss Solutions TV program to educate both the public that need hair and hair loss solutions, but also the public around them to know you're normal, you're regular, you're cool. You know, it's not like you're different just because you don't have hair. So it's really been a learning experience, because now I've been bringing in a lot of the experts, like a trichotillomania top psychologist that's telling about how they've got new programs, alopecia, where they're doing some research. So we're trying to just educate people because we're being educated. And me, man, I love to be interviewed or interviewed because it's like, that's a learning experience, and that's really what gives me another buzz in my life.
Yeah, that's great, 'cause I know, like, with me, alopecia, I can tell it's just something that's going to stick with me for the rest of my life, but I've met, like, a lot of people through the alopecia community, and some have been lucky enough to get their hair back, some have just had stages. I know Annie said it's come back in patches, but then it lost again. And I know I have a friend, Brooke, who sadly we don't talk as much, but I know she got her hair back, and it was such a like exciting moment for her.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And again, it's a challenge, and one of the things that we try to encourage them, because you're waiting for your hope to get hair back in alopecia, and if you get hair back, you hope it stays.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't come all back, but it comes in parts, it's a challenge that I think you're going to help in your awareness development. Is going to be so much more powerful than you realize, because again, there's so many venues, there's so many flavors of alopecia. It's not just alopecia areata or universalis, totalis. You guys were kidding offset and off camera about the eyebrows, and and what people notice and what people don't notice. It really needs what you're doing. It really does. That awareness to continue to press into the elementary school, into the middle school, where you know how tough it is in middle school.
Yeah.
So they're tough. They're feeling the toughness, so they try to be tough, or they feel the hurt, so they try to hurt others. It's just what happens. And if you can educate them, that's where they become educated to reach out, to care, to love, to make the difference in people's lives.
Amazing. It's definitely this. I know you. Every time I've come in to order my wig, you make sure you ask like, what can I do to improve? What can I do to make this better? And I think that's a really important part, because it always seems like you care to make it go even further than you've already gone. You test the limits. You reach out and just try everything you possibly can. I think that's amazing.
Thank you. But my son who works in our salon said to me, "Dad, when's it enough?" And I said, "When I'm done." And he goes, "When are you going to be done?" I said, "When I'm in heaven," because it's never good enough, And I don't mean that it has to have perfection. And as you said, it's just, I feed off of what you need. If you say to me, "Jeff, I want to put it in a ponytail," then I start to go into design and what that can do, or develop something. Or, "Jeff, I want an ombre. What do I do with that, Jeff?" So all the things that we want you to be able to have, which is to look yourself and live your life, which is the motto of Wigs for Kids, takes a lot more than just making a wig. And how about security, putting it on so that it stays on. And then when you've got advanced levels like Annie, we can attach it on a 24/7 basis and go through that process of a whole different attachment system. So again, I continually, and I'm so blessed by you noticing that, but the reality is that it's really about dealing with the child that you have in front of you and say, in your life, what do you need? If it's a soccer player, a college student, whatever it is, and we try to make it the best for them that they possibly could.
Well, I just want to thank you so much for everything you've done for all of us, and just for the likes that you've created, because I just know thousands of kids every day go away happy because you've made their dreams come true. So thank you so much.
Thank you.